Well,
I am surprised by that, though.
hold on. So who's going to win?
Oh, I've got Team USA 16-12.
16-12, huh? Why 16-12? And who's going to play well?
Oh, well, I mean, obviously, I think Scotty's going to play well. I have really high hopes for Cameron Young. I think he's going to be really good for Team USA. And maybe it's just my friends, Adam, but they don't seem to believe in J.J. Spawn the way I believe in J.J. Spawn. He has quietly been one of the best Americans all year long. He is a ball-striking machine. I think he's going to play really well for Team USA. So those are my top three guys for the U.S. squad.
J.J. Spawn's pretty clutch. I could see that happening. And Morikawa has been pretty good in competitions like these. He's had a pretty good history, as has JT. But so do some of the Europeans, so we'll see how that goes. We now can go on to the football part of the program.
I don't understand the scoring, but we'll get to that at another time. 16-12, go USA. Micah Parsons returns to Dallas on Sunday, Adam. And obviously Jerry Jones has plenty of things to say about it. What do you make of this return game? How big is it for Micah? How big is it for Jerry Jones and the Cowboys to see their old friend return back to Dallas?
Not going to be a great time for them to have this happen. Not under the best of circumstances. Not in a situation where the Dallas Cowboys are heavy underdogs at home. Like, think about that. Like, I don't know what the exact line is or the spread, but I think it's something close to a touchdown, right?
Last I saw 6.5, yes.
Okay, well, that's close to a touchdown. And for the Cowboys to be nearly touchdown underdogs at home tells you where they're at. Now, also, they get the Packers after a loss. Like, this would not be the week when I'd want to get the Green Bay Packers, where the Packers go on the road and get shown up in Cleveland, embarrassed. Like, I would think the Packers are going to play a strong game this week. Dallas is reeling defensively. It's lost some key players to injury. CD Lamb, Tyler Booker, their first-round draft pick. They already were missing their center, Beebe. So it's just the timing's not great for Dallas, but this is the spot that the Cowboys are now in.
I think one of the injury concerns right now for the Packers is that offensive line. Zach Tom tried to play through an oblique injury, made it one play in the game at Cleveland. Do you have any idea how long he could potentially miss now? Or is it just kind of a mystery? Because that's, again, I think obliques, Adam, I think like baseball players. I don't think offensive linemen, and it always seems to be a pretty tricky injury to know when you're fully ready to go.
Well, I don't have the specifics, but I could just, from a standpoint like anybody else out there, surmise that if you're going out there one play and you suffer a setback and you're out there, you've probably set yourself back longer than you would have been if you hadn't pushed the issue. So that, just the day unraveled for the Green Bay Packers on Sunday. That was the start of it. And it just didn't seem to get any better at all. Very discouraging for them. And, I guess here's the thing. If they add Zach Tom to IR on Saturday, you'll know that it's bad. And I'm just going to guess, not knowing anything. I want to be very clear. My guess is that's going to be a possibility. Just a guess.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. By the way, Adam Schefter on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy brought to you by Tony Wendorf and Associates. Just like the moves made in the pros, Tony Wendorf and Associates, First Weber Group, helps people make their own big moves every day. Trusted knowledge, superior service. They're the real estate MVPs of Wisconsin. So, Adam, if the Packers are this beat up at the offensive line position, just in general, how hard is it to acquire competent offensive linemen at this point in the season? Because it seems like it's at a premium across the league.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last time that I remember a quality offensive lineman being dealt in season. Like, off the top of my head, I can't even think of that.
Mm-hmm.
There's already a shortage of quality offensive linemen. Every team's looking for them. No team's getting rid of them. Like, I'm trying to think of like trade deadline deals, a wide receiver, a pass rusher, a linebacker, maybe a corner. Every now and then you get a quarterback, Carson Palmer. Like, when is the last time you could remember an offensive lineman being moved at the trade deadline? I don't remember it. I don't remember.
I was hoping you would remember something so I could give me hope that maybe the Packers could at least improve their depth at that position. But My fear was everybody kind of hoards offensive linemen, and it's hard to find just even backup offensive linemen out there.
Well, and that's why, you draft them and you develop them and you have them on your practice squad and you kind of grow them and make sure that there's an ample supply of depth there. Again, the Packers are not unique and alone there. Mm-hmm. Every team is always looking for more offensive line depth. We just talked about the Dallas Cowboys losing their guard and their center. We just talked about it. So you want them to go trade for somebody too?
Preferably not to keep the market down. That way the Packers don't have to pay as much. But it just kind of seems like they're stuck with what they have in terms of offensive linemen.
I'm curious if I put in. Let me see something here. Hold on one second. Keep talking. I'm going to check something.
Okay. Talking with Adam Schefter, again, brought to you by Tony Wendorf and Associates here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy each and every Wednesday. Yeah, it's just offensive line play. I was scared of that answer from Adam.
Yeah, well, it's a fact, though, right? Now he talks about developing offensive linemen and how they're homegrown. It's something the Packers historically have been very good at. And then you see their first-round pick have 3 false starts and allow a blocked field goal. So it doesn't make you feel a whole lot better about that depth. Go ahead, Adam.
Last year, the Jacksonville Jaguars traded Cam Robinson for a conditional 7th-round pick. For a 7th. And in the offseason, Robinson left, and he went to Houston, and Houston drafted some offensive linemen. And in the final cut-down date, the Texans were looking to deal Cam Robinson. So Cam Robinson would be a name that I would say if the Packers have any interest, which I would guess.
Again, it could probably depend upon the severity of the oblique injury for Zach Tom.
That would be a guy that I would think would be available if that interests you.
There you go.
But that's the level of player you're talking about. Essentially, has been on 3 teams in less than a year.
Look, Adam, the Packers had 17 penalties, 14 accepted, and a lot of those were on the offensive line. I am interested in any name that you say could be available as an offensive lineman. I don't know if the Packers are, but as a fan, I'd be interested in just about anything you're selling right now.
Let me say this, too. The Cleveland defensive line is very strong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
Very strong. And the week before, Derrick Henry couldn't do anything against them.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not just a Green Bay issue. I think that's a good defense, better defense than people realize. And so maybe Green Bay's offensive line is not as in bad a shape as you might think, but we'll see.
Bad shape, but maybe not as bad as we think. Adam Schefter with us on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Adam, the NFC North was the best division in football last year, 3 playoff teams. Now through 3 weeks, we see just how good the Lions are, despite losing both of their coordinators. Carson Wentz resurgence tour maybe for Minnesota after a win this week. Obviously, the Packers at 2-1. How do you view the hierarchy of this division through 3 weeks?
I think that, through 2 weeks before Green Bay lost at Cleveland, everybody was ready to anoint them. Obviously, there's undefeated talk and Super Bowl talk. And I think the Packers have one of the better teams, one of the best teams in the NFC. I think the Lions clearly, I watched them on Monday night and was really impressed the way they played there. I don't think they care if they have to go on the road or play at home, but it feels like they've been knocking at the door and trying to get through. The Eagles have won 19 of 20. 19 of their 20 last games, and I think Tampa Bay is one of the more unheralded teams. I didn't mention any teams out west because I just don't view them. Well, but the Rams, they're good. Don't forget about them. So I think, we've talked in recent years about the AFC being really strong. I got to tell you something. I think there's been a little bit of a paradigm shift, and I think the NFC might be more top-heavy right now than the AFC. In fact, I feel quite confident about that because Philly has been awesome. Detroit has been tremendous. Green Bay is loaded. The Rams are tough. Tampa Bay is unheralded. That's 5 teams that I can make an argument. Any one of them could go to the Super Bowl and you wouldn't be surprised. We didn't even mention San Francisco, Washington, Minnesota. I mean...
and not all those teams can make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's
Adam.
8 teams.
Yeah, not all those teams can make the postseason. Only 7 get in. Before we let you go, can you recall a weekend as crazy as this one in terms of special teams, especially with all the blocked
No,
kicks that we saw?
no. Like every week you get into that 3:45, 3:55 window,
Mm-hmm.
and it's crazy what's going on. Like there's a 5 or 10 minute stretch that wow, I mean it's unbelievable. It all leads up to that, and sometimes you get a couple of games going. Sometimes you get more than that going. Sometimes maybe it's just a game. This was really weird. Like this was the Jets blocked their kick literally moments apart from the Eagles blocking the Rams kick. Just some crazy
And
special
both those led
teams.
to touchdowns. The Packers had a kick blocked somewhere in that same time that eventually led to
Right.
the Browns win in
Right.
there as well.
Like 3 and 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, it was the highest number of block kicks that turn games and on a weekend. It was unusual. But I gotta be honest, like every weekend's unusual. Every weekend has something. Just happened to be block kicks this weekend. That was the theme. I don't know why, but it was. There'll be another theme this weekend. We'll see what that one is. But that's why people are tuning in, because their bets and fantasy matchups are swung in those final minutes with crazy that you wouldn't imagine.
Well, I mean, that's the Eagles block kick, and then Davis scooping and scoring. That got them to cover. That got the cover for the Eagles. So, yes, I'm sure that helped some people and hurt some. Adam, certainly appreciate the time. Always love talking to every Wednesday, buddy. Hey, happy Ryder Cup week, my friend.
You guys, I appreciate it. Have a great day. Enjoy the Ryder Cup this weekend. Thanks for having me, and we'll be back next week.
Adam Schefter joins us each and every Wednesday here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Hey guys, it's Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Thanks for watching our clip. I'm sure it was super informative and educational. I'm just kidding. I love those knuckleheads. And we do it live every Monday through Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you get informed anytime we drop new content.